Hello and welcome to Weyermann's Whimsy. Today we are going to make this Christmas card using the Merriest Moments bundle. So we've got the Merriest Moments stamp set, we've got the Merriest Frames dies, and then we've got the hybrid embossing folder. So the way the hybrid embossing folder works is you can use it just as the embossing folder like this, or you can emboss and cut at the same time using the die. So you just kind of fit it in and you can feel it kind of click in. It has to go this way. There we go. You can feel it kind of snap in, and you can put your piece of paper in and it will cut and emboss at the same time. So we aren't going to cut with this, we're just going to emboss at this point, but I do have an example of how that works. So this is if you just emboss, and then this is if you cut and emboss. So you can see, basically it would go like this, but if you cut it out, you'd have this. And if you don't put the die in to cut, you get this. So I have already cut out the poinsettia pieces here, but I've left using the embossing folder and cutting the center piece out just for now. But I've used Bumblebee for the stamens in the middle of the poinsettia. I've used Soft Succulent for the outside leaves, Fresh Freesia for the inside leaves, and I cut 2 of those, and for the greeting, and the card base is also Fresh Freesia. So I'm just going to pop these off to the side because I've done all the stamping I need to with those stamps, and I just need that one for the inside. So let's get going with this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the embossing folder. Now, when you're doing this, you kind of need to do it from the other side so you can make sure that your centerpiece of, like right here, is actually in the middle. So that's pretty good, like that. And then we can run it through the cut and emboss and get that all imprinted there. And I haven't cut the centerpiece yet because I wanted to show you how I did it. We don't have any dies that actually fit the centerpiece. Sorry for all the clanging in the background. So we don't, like I say, we don't actually have any dies that fit this piece. I'm using the Stitch So Sweetly die, but you can see it extends over the edge. So we're going to have to double cut this because you'll see it's actually smaller than the die. So to do that, let me just get set up here like this, and we're going to use sticky notes as well in a bit to hold this down. Now, as usual, I'm going to put this through on an angle so that it doesn't have that hard line going through the roller. And if you've watched a few of my videos now, you probably say that in your sleep, but it's important. It saves wear and tear on the machine for sure. Okay, so we need now to trim this down because, as you can see, this is too big to fit in here. We need to kind of take it down to that third kind of bump. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this back down on here, and we're going to line it up. And you can almost feel when it kind of locks into place because of the little stitch dots here. But what I'm doing is I'm lining it up so I can't see the bumps from the original cut anywhere. And I'm going to use sticky notes to hold that down because I absolutely don't want this to shift while I'm doing this. I'm going to pick this up and run it through the machine, and let's see how we do. Sometimes you need to do this once or twice just to get a good cut. but let's see how we did on this. You can see the end has been trimmed off there. And there we go. There is the piece, and it will fit right in the middle, just as we need it to. So let's get going with the stamping on this. I need to use my Thinking of You This Festive Season in Fresh Freesia. So I'm just going to ink this up, and we're going to place it down towards this side. So Thinking of You This Festive Season, because we're actually going to put the poinsettia on the other side. So what we can do is we can dimensionalize this onto the center of the card. So I'm just going to put 4 dimensionals on the back here, and then we'll peel them all off. And just center it on the card here. And I'm making sure I'm still in frame, so that's perfect. Like that. There we go. Okay, so that's done. Now we need to build the poinsettia. What I did is these are all flat mounted, and then the final piece is dimensionalized onto the card. So I'll give you I'll put this back so you can see what I'm doing. So the one with the stamens stamped on it goes on the top. So I'm layering these up. You can see so that the petals kind of overlap like that. And then I'll layer this piece onto the leaves. And you just kind of have to keep turning it till you can see most of the leaves underneath. You could do more leaves if you wanted to as well. And then we dimensionalize this. And how am I going to put, I'm going to put this on like this. So I need to put dimensionals here and here so that they actually are on the center piece. So I'm just going to place that down like that. Then I'm going to dimensionalize the whole thing. So lots and lots of dimensionals on this one. I am in my glory, I tell you. I love dimensionals. So we'll just keep adding these on. Like I say, lots of them to support the whole thing. I'm not going to put more dimensionals in the middle because the middle is really dimensionalized already. And if you're putting this through the mail, you're not going to want to have it too thick in the envelope. So we'll just peel all these off, and then we'll put it on the card, and then we'll use some of the rhinestones to bling it up. So again, this is Fresh Freesia standard North American card base with a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of basic white that we've put through the Merriest Frames hybrid embossing folder. So I got it to this stage and I thought it looked really pretty, but I also thought it looked a little plain. So I went ahead and got my rhinestones out and my Take Your Pick tool. And I started by just blinging up the middle. And I seem to have runaway bling. So let's just pop that down like that. Oh, and we have bling here too that's already come off. So one like that. So like I say, I started with the middle, just kind of blinging up the middle. And that looks pretty too. It really brings attention to the center of the card. But I thought maybe it needed a bit more bling. So I just kept blinging it until I thought I was done. So if you're going to make a lot of these, you might want to just bling up the middle. Or if you're just making these as just a few for special people, then you can bling the heck out of it. just going to pop these down here. I'm just putting these wherever there seems to be a space that needs a little bit of focus on it. And just trying to make it as random a pattern as possible. And we can put one there. So, and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking we need another one there and another one there. So we'll just keep going with the bling. You can never have too much bling. So then just the one more, and there we go. There is your finished card. Sorry, I need to put one more piece of bling on there. I really do. And we are just going to pop one right there. So there, now it's done. So there is our Thinking of You this festive season card using stamps from the Merriest Moments set, as well as the Merriest Frames Hybrid Embossing Folder and dies from the Merriest Frames dies. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I've inspired you, and we will create together again soon.